Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a large repotting video. I have a lot of plants here that need to be repotted. I've actually done this intro now 4 times. So if you haven't been to this channel before, this is a place where I talk about my houseplants and do DIYs. So make sure you subscribe so you can be up to date on all my latest videos. And if you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. My mic is on now. I have my camera straight. We're going to talk about all the plants that I need to repot today, because there are several. So first of all, this philodendron billetier needs to be repotted. I have been watering this far too much, and I just picked it up and looked at it, and yes, the roots are coming out the bottom. And so that's usually a good indication of, having to water it constantly and roots coming out the bottom, that it needs to be repotted. The one thing that's most annoying about this is I just feel like I repotted this in December. I don't remember when it was, but this plant grows so quickly, just does a really great job at growing and just constantly needs to be repotted. So we're going to do that again. So that is one of them. And then another one is this philodendron tortum. I have it here. I've got this in October, and it's such a pretty little guy. This is the newest leaf that it pushed out, and the roots are coming out the bottom again. So same process, like I'm watering it far too constantly or far too much, and the roots are coming out the bottom. So it needs to be potted up. And then at the same time of getting that, I got this Jose Bono, this philodendron, so beautiful. And I mean, this guy has grown just crazy well in my care. I think that this is like the 3rd or 4th leaf. Yeah, this will be the 4th leaf it's pushed out since I got it, this one coming out. And they're all so beautiful. But same thing, I'm watering it way too much and the roots are coming out the bottom. Not quite as much as this tortum, but since I'm doing all these other plants, I'm just gonna jump on that one because it's going to need repotting fairly soon, if just, not now. So why not do it? Those are kind of like the repots. Those are the ones that for sure have grown out of their pot. They need to be sized up. What I do is I size two sizes, or one size up, which is 2 inches. So my billetier is in an 8-inch pot. I will go to a 10-inch pot if I have it. And these guys are in a 4-inch pot. I'll go to a 6-inch pot. Again, if I have it. That's the other part of this, is I was trying to figure out what pottery I have and what's going to fit. So I'll take you on a journey to see my pottery, because it's a mess. But then I have this philodendron Burley Marks variegated that I got fairly recently. And I'm going to put it into my soil mix and add a stake. So as you can see, it's a very leaning tower we've got going on here. But I have also noticed that it has fungus nets. So the soil mixture it's currently in is like peat moss and soil. And I actually have my own soil mix. I do soil less. Ooh. And so it's this right here. Basically it consists of perlite, coca coir, orchid bark, all that good stuff. So I'm going to repot it in that, and then again, stake it up with this, just because I only have one moss pole made right now. And so I just need it to be supported. So this is going to support it for now until I can get it on a moss pole. And then I have a moss pole and a Monstera aurea, which I'll show in a moment, that I'm going to put on. I'm going to put the moss pole on the aurea. I actually have it propagating or air layering currently, because I do want to chop it eventually. But just not right now. So I'm going to put it on a pole, let it grow in and root in, because the aerial roots are well established. So I'll see if we can't get some secondary roots. Usually, even if a plant has aerial roots, that you can pot it, you can cut it and, pot it up. I like to wait and wait until they have secondary roots. That's like, the roots that are coming off the aerial root. I just find that it can grow a lot better. And so that's what I'm waiting on that guy to grow some secondary roots there. And then last of all is, well, actually it's not last of all. Like I have 2 other plants that I want to pot up possibly after this one, but we'll get to those possibly today. If not, I'll do it another day. But this guy needs to be repotted. So this is my Anthurium forgetii. Currently it's in a soil mixture, which Anthuriums tend to like to be on the more moist side. I actually have my Anthurium and my Clarinevrum in, actually no, my Clarinevrum is in a soil mix. because I've not done anything to that one. But my Anthurium Queen is in my soilless mix and it likes it. I don't know if I want to put this in my soilless mix, I'll be honest, just because I am fearful of the watering. So if I do my soilless mix, I definitely need to add like some sphagnum moss around the top of it just to keep the moisture in a little bit longer, because my soil mixture is very well draining, and I just know that Anthurium have a tendency to not like to dry out as quickly as other plants. Now again, my Anthurium Queen is in it, and then do I have two other ones? What do I have? No, I just have my Clarinebrum. I got two other Anthuriums, but we'll see. I mean, I think it would do fine. It's just like, do I want to watch it that much? Do I really want to watch it and possibly have it, you know, have a fit on me? I don't know. So this again is my Anthurium forgetii. Great grower. These are the two newest leaves here. The other two plants that, oh, and I'm going to put it up on a, stake it up on this little cedar piece of wood that I have here, and attach it because it is leaning over on itself. And yeah, I just need to prop it up a little bit. But the other two plants that I have, one of which you cannot see because this guy's covering it. So let's move it. This right here, this pothos, it's a marble queen, I believe. I got it from Lowe's a couple weeks ago, and it's just in a soil mixture, but I don't like the Lowe's plants that are just in this gross soil. So I think I might just take it all off. The leaves are starting to yellow just like constantly, and it's very obnoxious. So that leads me to believe that it's probably not even well rooted. So I've had that in the past. I have had Mandula pothos that I've purchased from Lowe's, and they were not rooted at all. Like genuinely not rooted, just stuck in the pot, probably hoping for the best that they would root eventually. But nothing ever did. And so I had to throw away half the plant because it was rotted out and just nothing. So we're going to possibly dig into that today. And then the last that I don't have in here is my philodendron McDowell. So I need to put that in a crawling pot. It almost fell over again. And I know in my last potting video, I said I didn't want to do it because it is a lot larger and the long pots that I have are kind of small, but I think I need to look at it and just do it. So it's now toppling, and I just don't want to deal with, like, you know, a broken plant. I would rather have it in the longer pot, even if it is for a shorter moment. So that is what we're doing today. First, I need to go see if I have pots for these guys. And hopefully I do, because my philodendron Beletier is going to be the problem. I'm not really repotting the Monsteras, or the Monstera and the philodendron Burley Marks. I'm just kind of taking some of the soil out so I can put a pole and moss pole in for stabilizing it. But I need to go check and see if I have pots for the rest of these guys. So let me go show you my potting storage area. That is a disaster. Okay, so past all of this junk that's from my show and the baby seat is my pottery collection. Hold on, let's see if I can turn, yes, okay. This mess here. And so I have a lot of bigger, like gallon plastic pots, just a ton of nursery pots in all sizes. And then what I like to use personally is terracotta. So I think I'm going to need to get this one for one of my plants at least. But I just have a ton of like 4-inch pots. And so I don't know what I'm going to do there. And then I keep stands here. It's a mess. Trays. Yeah, I had this all at one point organized, and now it's back to this. So this is what my stash looks like. I need to go through some of this and just see if I can find a pot large enough for that Monstera aurea, and then my new philodendron Burley Marks variegated. Those are the two that I'm most concerned about not having a pot for. So let me dig in. Okay, so you saw that disaster of a storage, and it's not really a storage, it's just basically a junk drawer for my pots, but I have them here, and I actually am going to show a video because one of the pots I had to drill a hole in the bottom of them. Where is that? Where is that? Oh, it's in front of me. Is it? Where did I put it? It's one of them. I had to have a hole drilled into it, And so I ended up having my husband do that. Just drilled a hole in it because it doesn't have any drainage. Is that the best drainage hole? No, but it is something compared to nothing. So we're just going to go with it and hope for the best, I guess. But I'm thinking that I'm going to do my Jose Bono in that one. And now that I'm looking, I just kind of picked the wrong sizes. No, here we go. I think I want to do my tortum in this pot. It's a little bit shallow, but it is wider. I mean, obviously it's a lot wider than I probably should go. So do I want to do that? Maybe I'll do this guy in here, and then I'll do my tortum because they're also deep. These are not the normal terracotta pots that I would pot these up in. I don't know where I got these at. Possibly Michael's. I had a collection of them, and what I did is just put nursery pots in them and use them as basically catch trays. But I think that I'll just stick my tortum in here, and then I'll put my Jose Bono in this little bit more shallow pot, but the foliage fits it better. So technically going against my 2-inch thing on that one, but this one is a 6-inch pot. It's actually like a 5 1/4 or something, but that is that. And then for my Velletier, I could not find anything, and so I'm thinking about changing this guy's position. So normally it sits again up here on this shelf under a 35-watt Santee grow light. But if I repot my McDowell philodendron, then I can put the Velletier in this ugly pot, and then I can put the Velletier where my McDowell sat in a basket, so a cover basket. Otherwise, this is the largest pot I have. Ooh. And it really isn't that much bigger. I mean, it is a lot bigger actually, so maybe I will. I don't know. I'm just also trying to figure out because my plant, there's too many going on right now. My Monstera aurea in my Burley Marks philodendron, I kind of want to move in here and put them up on the top of the shelf because they're both going to have poles and I am going to need room. So I think I just might do that. I might just trade some things out. We're going to just start doing that. This actually might be good for my Monstera in the moss pole. So I think that's what I'll do that because it's about the same width. Maybe it's a little bit bigger, but I think that will be good. I had these extra pots tier 2 just in case these didn't work. And I mean, honestly, maybe this would be better for this. Maybe I'll do this one in this instead of that pot. And then my husband will be really happy that he drilled all the way through that for nothing. But we'll see. I could also repot. I don't even know the Santherium doesn't know. No, we're just going to ignore that. No, that's a bad idea. The plan that I need to think about is a lot of these plants still have actual soil left on them. And so I need to remove all of that and dump it. So I'm going to have to go get a bag or something to put all that nasty soil in. So I've got a lot of plants going on here. This is the worst part about owning plants, in my personal opinion. Potting them is just such a pain. I've moved a lot of my plants over to the soilless mix, and so I don't have to worry about this. I just put them in a new pot and then backfill basically. But for these plants that I have not done that with, it's kind of a pain. Is it worth it? Yes, because let me tell you, the fungus gnats have gone down and just the watering issues have gone down. The yellowing leaves, it's kind of like I can water and not be as afraid of overwatering it. Oh my goodness, this is stuck in there. So it's been very good switch for me. I do have that available on my Etsy shop. Whoa. Yeah, that's a good root system. And definitely in need of a repot because we have one giant root going all the way around the top, perfectly like the lip. So, okay, we'll be doing that. Definitely doing that. But it's been really good. I have it on my Etsy shop. If you're interested in learning more about it or checking it out, you can. The link below. I'm going to have to break some of these roots. Sorry to all of those that I will offend by doing this, but I'm just going to try to do the best I can and get as much soil off as I possibly can. I just like to squeeze it and kind of like, ooh, just, you know, put it everywhere on the floor. But this is a totally peat moss mix, which 90% of your houseplants that you get from a nursery are going to be, because, you know, overwatering issues don't come like they do here in our homes in a nursery, because the constant drying out of it and the humidity and the airflow and all that good stuff. So if you're wondering why even go away from a soilless mix, it's because it's just not a good house plant mix. When you have house plants and it's just stagnant and sitting in the wet moisture, again, it causes fungus gnats and root rot issues. So I just like to do away with it if I can. Honestly, this is just a lot of roots, and like I'm feeling in it, and I know it looks like a lot of soil, but my fingers are going like all the way through, and it's just not as much soil anymore. I just genuinely feel like the plant completely overtook the soil, and so I'm going to leave it like this and just pot it up. I'm going to do the others now though first. So I'm going to do this tortum, see how it looks. I assume it's going to look the same. Yeah, looks the same. Oh, it's got like almost light pink roots. That is precious. I mean, the new growth coming out is very pink, if you can see that there. But yeah, good root system. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the soil out, hopefully. I can already tell that this is a pod. So it's in a, like, people call them like death pods or something. I don't even know what, but I can definitely tell it's in one of those, which is always a fun experience. So I'll leave it on there, just in that pod. But doing the same thing as the Jose Bono, just trying to get as much of that soil off as possible. If you're still using soil, you can just skip this part and just pot your plant up like normal. Just stick it in the new pot and then backfill. You do not need to break your roots up. They will find their way through it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, just break them a little bit. I never do. I just stuck them in there and let them grow. Okay, that's going to be as good as it gets. So I'm going to stick it in this pot over here that you can't see, and we'll come back to it in a moment. Next is this Anthurium forgetii. I need to get all the soil off it because I am just going to do it in my soilless mixture. Ooh, it's stuck to this pot. I will put it back in this pot because, oh, it's got a little, I have not repotted this or touched it. I actually just took it out of the nursery pot because I think the nursery pot was broken or something, and just stuck it into this terracotta pot. But it's in a pod, and its little tiny root system is adorable, and they look really healthy and fresh and white. So I'm just gonna try to get this little pod off. Yeah, perfect. That one came off nicely. And then I'll stick it back in my soilless mixture with the stake. Oh, look how great those roots look. So that one will go right back in this pot with this plank that I will be putting on it. Normally I don't do planks or anything, but I'm not really looking for this one to climb. I just need it to stabilize itself. So that is what it's going to do for me now. Okay, so those were the ones that I just needed to get the soil off of next to my pothos over there, but we're going to leave that one for now because I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it. I'm just going to start backfilling these guys with my soil mixture. So again, this is a mixture of coco coir, which is right here. It's good for moisture retention. Perlite, leca, I have orchid bark, and I have tree fern fiber, which is like a good alternative to peat moss because it holds a lot of moisture in it. And then I also have just perlite and vermiculite in here, and possibly one other thing, but I have no idea right now because my brain's not processing. So I'm just going to backfill this guy, and then I will water these guys as soon as I'm done with this. That's why I like to repot when I haven't watered my plants, because number one, you're going to get the soil off easier if it is in a soil mix. And number two is I like to water it right after just to settle all of it in and kind of just, you know, I don't know, dig into the plant. Next, we're going to do this Philodendron tortum in this pot. So this is what my soil mix looks like. This is the bag that it comes in, and I just like to dump it in a bowl, and that way I can mix it up. You can also like shake it up if you want to, but there is not much room in this bag because it is filled. So I just like to dump it into a separate bin. This was far too small of a dish. Usually I use like a big plastic tub, but yeah, I didn't do that today. So that is that guy in his new pot. And so now I need to do this little Anthurium forgetii, trying to get it as close to the post as possible. Okay, so now he sits right against that. You can see there it's nice and flat. And so who knows, maybe it's aerial roots would start to grow in. I've tried wood planks before and they've never worked for me successfully like that. In a greenhouse, again, you have the right humidity, you have the right temperature, you have the right watering system. And so it's just way more likely that they're going to attach and adhere and grow. In a house setting, I haven't seen them to work. They just help the plant grow up and stay upright. But I'll keep it on that for right now. Again, it'll stabilize it a lot better. This big guy, I am going to take out of this soil mixture, and he's leaning. The root system on this looks really good and does not look like it has any rot on it, which is great. So I'm just going to put it back in its pot and just add this pole to the back of it. I'm going to situate it as far back as I can because you can totally see me and this. Situate it as far back as I can like this and really allow it to, you know, lean against this. So I'm going to take my mixture and right here, pot it up. So that's like that. It's right here. I need to go get some string, was what I normally do, like macrame string hanger, and just attach it. So I will gently pull it back, and that way it will sit just like this and be beautiful. But right now it's leaning, so not so beautiful. Next and last, that was on my like for sure I can do list, is my Monstera aurea. I'm going to take this pot, which this is what I just realized my philodendron mammy I was in, and I potted it up in a long pot. So I'm just going to do that for this guy. Now this soil mixture is actually one quite like my own. I'm not sure if it has peat moss in here, but it looks to be just a lot of coco coir and perlite and extremely fine orchid bark. So I'm not going to do anything besides dump it in here and keep it. It is really well rooted, so it's going to take a minute to get this out. It's probably a perfect time to repot this guy. Get that. This actually came from a plant store in Tennessee. Actually, it was my first plant that I've really shipped. I ever bought online and had shipped, so it was really good. So I'm going to stick this moss pole probably like this. No, like this. Yeah, like this, so that it roots in. So just like that. I keep the bottom, wow, you can't see me at all, but I keep the bottom 3 inches of my moss poles clear, so that way I can put soil into them. And it's not just sphagnum moss down there. So I'm just backfilling it. Okay, it looks great. So that is it. I will actually not even need to probably attach this because it's already so close to it. I'll just let it sit here. This is where I was air layering it just to see if I could get some more roots because there were none there. We'll see about that. But if I were to chop it, I would chop it. I'll try to zoom in right here because this already has its area root, and right here because there's already an aerial root right there as well. So that is good to go now. Last one because my time is up. So just this repotting of the Blitier into this larger pot. So got through all of that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have to do this and my other McDowell at a later point. But again, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and we will see you next time.